Good afternoon, everyone. It's George Ursick here. I'm here with Ramonda Davis, Ramana Karavita, and there's a person here also sitting at the table who will eventually be my replacement, Jeanelle Kalavang. Those of you who were around 15 years ago in the Bureau, we remember her. We are going to do the MSCG Consultant Refresher Training today. And I'm going to start off with letting Ramonda have a few introductory remarks.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ramonda Davis, and welcome to our first Bureau of Primary Healthcare Consultant training session under our joint venture, Management Strategist Consulting Group. This training session is specifically for consultants supporting our technical assistance and special project contracts with BPHC. With this training, we will roll out some of the new enhancements to the technical assistance tracking system, better known as TATS, as well as offer solutions to some of the common questions and issues users have had within the last year or so. So with that said, I will now turn the session back over to Ramana and George.
Okay, hello again. I'm going to start off with a couple general statements to clear up some of the confusion that I've heard about over the last year or so. We've been doing this throughout the online and the TATS system. First, I hope everybody knows by now that the online system that you use first when you're doing a report is completely separate and distinct from TATS. The two don't talk to each other. There's no interface between the two. That's why we have certain steps involved in that, but it's why it's very important in the online process when you get your edited report back and not before, you do an upload into TATS. Otherwise, it's not going to appear in the TATS system, and actually nobody knows where the report is at this end at that moment in time. The second thing, under the TATS system, keep in mind that there is several places in time where a review and edit takes place. And when I use the terms review and edit, again, this has been confusing to some of the consultants over time. The review process is where we use Jack Egan, Bruce Regal, Christy Messer, whose names you've seen on the reports back to you. They look at the report in terms of the content and its adherence to the HRSA site visit guide. That's their role. That is not an edit. The editors are Liz Janega, Dana McGrath. You may have seen the name Sarah Madden and some of the editors, and they are the individuals who edit the report for grammar, spelling, format, consistency, all of that stuff. They are two separate, distinct processes in the online system. When you upload the report into TATS, you should be aware that another review will take place by the Bureau, by the project officer, by the branch chief, by the senior clinical advisor, if not a host of other people, depending on the complexity of the report. So there are several steps involved in that process, so you can see every information coming back to you from the MSCG reviewers, the three names I just mentioned, or you can see through TATS a request coming back to you to do changes vis-a-vis the Bureau's review. The other thing I wanted to mention is while Bruce, Jack, and Christy are fine chatting with you back and forth, the reality is if you have a question about what they've said in terms of is this a policy, you might as well just go ahead and copy one of the TARs, myself, Jane Berdovich, Liz Jeniga, with your question, because the reality is Jack, Bruce, and Christy cannot answer a policy question. They can send you back a nice note saying thank you very much, but I'm going to forward this to George, Jane, whoever, and then in the future it'll be Janelle instead of yours truly. So keep that in mind as well. It's okay for you to copy them so that they know you have a question, but you need to send it to your TAR. Most of you should know who the TARs are with your reports by now. The only other thing I will mention very quickly, and the questions come up, it's been a good question. You should be aware of the fact that for a very specific type of OSV that comes out of Office of Policy in the Bureau, and that is the OSVs for look-alike designees, applicant designees. There is going to be a back and forth between the staff of OPPD and the team lead and or the consultants that's unlike what you would normally see around an OSV for a health center or a health center look-alike. And that is because the reality is your report in that particular case is not what's sent back to the grantee. The OPPD staff are doing a tool, an assessment, an analysis tool, if you will, then that is what goes back to the applicant organization, not your report. So they may have a dialogue with you that is direct and is not through TATS, and eventually the report has to be revised through TATS, and we can get into that later. But just so you're aware of it, somebody's asked that question recently about is there a different process for project officers, and if you're dealing with one of those reports out of OPPD that is a lookalike designation applicant, the back and forth between the staff of OPPD and the consultants may be slightly different than what we normally would see with an OSV that is for a health center or lookalike, where most of it goes through yours truly, the TAR. And having said that, we can begin the process with the screens you're going to see. We're going to talk about the TATS system first. Even though that is not first in what you do, we're going to talk about that first, and then we'll talk about the online system and what goes with that. The other thing I should mention, questions will be taken at the end of our session, and this is being recorded. So that's the disclaimer. If you do not want to be recorded, you need to get off the line or off the phone, whatever have you, if you're going to say anything, because this is being recorded. Questions can be addressed either through your chat that you see on your screen, or at the end we'll take phone calls. *6 is mute and unmute for your information. So you cannot talk into this system unless you hit *6 at the end when we have our questions and answers. And with that, we'll move to the next slide. Ramana.
Thank you, George, and good afternoon, everybody. Yes, there are two systems. One is TATS, and the second one is online site visit report system. So, again, we are dealing TATS first, even though, you're using it later. The first step is online site visit report system, and the next step is TATS. But, I just want to go through the TATS, talk about your profile, and talk about the report contributions, and talk about the choose action button that we have. So I'll start with the TATS, and then we go deep into the online site visit report system. And I sent you a couple of documents last night. One of them is a brief presentation. It has only few slides with the bullet points. And I sent you a consultant instructions cheat sheet. That will help you to figure out the process to upload a report, change request, and that also helps you on the online site visit report system. So, we have a new version of that. We made a couple of changes this morning. I'm going to send that to you, the new version, along with this recording after today's call, after this call, hopefully by tomorrow. So you will get a new version of the consultant instructions from me soon. Okay, so let's go into the consultant tab. Let's start the tabs. And the reason I put consultant expertise here, now you have an option if you are a consultant with a multiple bureau experience. And let's say we have BPIC and we have HAB. So you can update your expertise for both bureaus. So right now, we probably only have your expertise in a BPIC in TATS, but you have an option to update your expertise if you have anything in HAB, and we can use you in one of our HAB projects.
And I would like a quick commercial here. We are looking in particular now for the HIV/AIDS Bureau HAB in those technical assistance contracts. We are looking for consultants with fiscal expertise. So for those of you who are out there that have fiscal expertise and you have worked with any of the HIV/AIDS projects or bureaus, we'd love to know more about you and have you update your consultant expertise in your profile so that we're aware of the fact that we can go ahead and forward your name to HAB as a potential fiscal consultant for their technical assistance reviews. Thank you. Ramana.
Okay, thanks, George. And again, I'm not going to the slide by slide. I'm getting into the system directly. So this is your famous screen, the TATS screen. And I'll be logging in as a consultant, and I'll show you a couple of things here. So let me log in 1 second. And again, this is just a refresher training. We are not covering all the modules by any means. And if there are some new consultants, the old mandatory training, which is available on our website, you still need to do that. But we cover only the new things that we have in last year and so. So for the new consultants, you still need to do the other training, and this training, the today's training, is not a mandatory.
Right, but the key word is for new consultants, you do need to go back and register so that we know you took the lengthier TATS training. If you don't, we're really not going to use you.
Okay, so I have logged in as a consultant, and I'm clicking on the TATS.
Should have like the Jeopardy thing.
Yeah. So on the left-hand menu, most of the people, you already know this. So most of our consultants, they are in TATS and they already know this. But yeah, I'm clicking on the view update profile. And now you have 4 tabs: the personal information, work information, expert experience, and references. If you have not done before, please update these profiles when you get a chance, because this is where when we search for a consultant in TATS, even project officer, they go here. So depending on your expertise and your details, your profile is going to come up in the search results. So let me see, this is what I'm talking, the expert experience on top. Okay, so if you see here, areas of expertise, HAB and BPIC. So most of you or all of you probably have listed only the HAB experience, BPIC experience, but now you have one more option. You can put the HAB here. So this is where the judge was telling, if we see you a HAB profile, then we probably contact you for that contract. So again, when you get a chance, if you have a HAB experience, come to this page and just update your expertise, and you can click on this one, and now you have to select 6 primary, mandatory, and 3 options. And you see only the expertise that is related to HAB here. You do not see the BPIC. This is a separate list. The other one is a separate list. So you only see BPIC, and please select 6, 3 primary, 3 secondary, but all 6 are mandatory. Okay, so that's what I want to cover here. And if you are not done, if you are not updated the BPIC, please click on the BPIC expertise, and this is only the BPIC stuff. So you don't see anything else. So this is bureau specific, and you cannot see other bureau stuff here. So yeah, when you get a chance, please update your HAB and BPIC.
Okay, real quick as a reminder, this screen, like the other screens we're going to talk about, remember, save and continue, but you still need to do submit, and the next step in order for this information to be ensconced in TATS. If you choose save or save and continue and don't take the other steps, you'll be able to see it, but nobody else will.
See here, in the drop down here, you have options: save, save and continue, workflow, mark and complete. Save means you can save here, you can come back to this page, and you can make changes. Save and continue, you can save this page and go to the next page and do the stuff. Mark as complete that means you are done with this page. So that means we can see your profile. Unless you click mark as complete, we cannot see your updated profile. We can see only the profile that was there before you make the edit. So remember, you got to do mark as complete here, and when it goes to the reports, the terminology is different, and we'll go that a little bit deep in detail, because that's where we are having some issues. So yeah, so save and continue, mark as complete for the profile, which is good. And again, sometimes you get confused where are the menus. So there is again the arrows here for the left menu and here for the top menu. So if you don't see any menus, please look for these ones because there is a collapse button, expand button on right top and left. And I am asking, requesting all the consultants to go here where you see here. Just follow my cursor. You see this one, view or update profile. This, you need to click this. This way, when you forget your password, you can reset it by yourself. You don't need to send it to me to reset it. So as soon as you get into the TATS, go here, click on view update profile, and you make sure what you have here. And then click the continue button. Okay, so this information is saved, and next go into change password. Okay, so you put your current password, you put the new password, and you create a security question here, and you got to remember the answer. So, I know most of the profiles we have, they do not have a security question answer set up. So that's why, when you click the forgot password link, you are not able to answer the question that was there because by default, the first question appears, whatever it is. So you come here, you put the old password, put the new password, and select a question answer. And remember this answer. This will help you to reset if you forget your password or if your password expires. So this is there are two profiles here. One is here a brief profile. This is only for TATS, to get into the TATS. And the profile on the left here that I just showed you before, where you have expertise information, that is for the program, the technical assistance program for the BP can have. So for left hand is a bigger profile about your resume, and here just a basic details and set up your security question and answer. So I really want to cover that, and that will be it for the consultant expertise and TATS profile. So next thing is, let me log out this. Okay, that's the consultant expertise. And next, access to PO contribution document. So you all know, you all know, you can upload a report, and TASK can review it, project officer can review it. Now there is a new feature for a project officer. They can compile their review into a Word document as a track changes or a separate Word document, but and they can upload it back to the TOR. So when TOR gets it, it is going to be a Word document. It is not going to be any email like before. So it's going to be a Word document, and TOR will get it back from the project officer saying I have reviewed this and here are my comments, and comments are attached in a document. TOR downloads it and re-uploads to consultant as a change request. So I'm going to repeat this. TOR downloads the document. When project officer sends it, consultant will not get it directly. There is a step involved. So project officer sends it to TOR. TOR downloads it and uploads it to consultant as a change request. So where are you going to see this? The change request, where are you going to see this? I'm going to show you where to look for the PO contribution document. So the thing is, we could have done this at least a couple of months ago when this new feature was like introduced, but like that was towards the end of the contract, and we didn't know what was going to happen. So that's why we did not do a training, but we did outreach, and that outreach did not reach all the people. So the consultants, some consultants, they had issues getting into the document that was uploaded by TOR. So I'll take you to the screen in TATS where you can see, you can find the document, as well as you can look for a choose action. I'll show you the option of choose action. Okay?
Okay, so while Ramana is doing that, just to reemphasize and remind you all, we're in TATS right now, so this document that you're seeing, this revised document, it's called a track change document, is from the Bureau. It represents project officer, branch chief, and/or senior clinical advisor, all three of their comments. This comes back to yours truly, one of the TARs, or Jane or Liz, and in order for you to see it, we have to actually download it, re-upload it back into TATS, and then when you go into your screen, Ramana is about to explain where this report now will appear in your screen, because that's been the trick for several people. It didn't appear where you were used to seeing it previously. So take it away.
Okay, so now I'm in TATS as a consultant. Click on the TATS. And click on the change requested. Okay, so this is where you see that one, the change requested task. You click, right now this says edit tier report because I'm accessing for the second time. But when you come for the first time, you see here start/edit tier report. So I'm clicking on this one. Okay, so this is the screen that you see. Either change request back from TOR, change request from TOR, and you are looking for a contribution document that was submitted by project officer to TOR and TOR uploaded for you. So you click on this previous TA report.
This is the big step.
This is where you find the track changes document or the contribution document, whatever you call, you are getting it back from TOR. So this is where you click previous TA report, you click on it. So let's say it says open, I just click on open, but this is my, I just put a dummy report. But this is where so you click on previous TA report, you download it, save it to your computer, and you go through the track changes, whatever the recommendations, you make sure you covered all the stuff, you fix the report, and you save it to your computer, and you come back to the same screen here, and scroll down to upload it here. So this is the report that you are uploading as a response to change request from TOR. So you click here, browse for the report. Okay, and now if you want to put any comments, put some comments. Okay, so now you are not done. The report is uploaded. You see it here. So most of us think we uploaded, we are done. Technically, you are not done. You just upload a report. You can come back. You can delete this report if this is not the right one. You can come back. You can delete this report and upload a different report. So it is still in your queue. So you can delete it. You can upload it. Or if you have any other, if at all you have any other supporting documents, some images or some other Excel sheets that are going with this document, you click on supporting documents, upload attached file, and you do the same process. You just select the filter, and you can do maximum of 10 supporting documents. Just one report, 10 supporting documents. Again, if by mistake, if you submit your report into attaching documents, supporting documents, that misses in the queue, and it will not get reviewed because we are not reviewing the supporting documents. We are reviewing only the documents which are under draft here. So make sure you upload the right document here and supporting documents here. Okay, so I'm not uploading any supporting documents here, but as soon as you're done, you need to scroll down, put some comments. Then there is the button choose action here. Save and continue will not do for you. If you do save and continue, you still have that TA in your pending list.
And if it's in your queue, it's not in ours, and that's the key.
So as long as you see this in your queue, that means it's still with you and we did not get it, and there is no way we can see it. So we can see only if you click on the submit button. So you got to choose action, click submit, and then go. And make sure, the bottom line is once you click this, you're gonna get a confirmation page. So as long as you are not seeing the confirmation page, that means you are missing a step. Click on this. This is the confirmation page. By default, it is George for this particular TA because the consultant got the change request from George. That's why it is going to George. And CC, whatever you see, leave it them there because most of this list is standard. You don't need to add new ones unless somebody asks you to add a new one here. But just leave it there and make sure you have everything. Then the last one is your comments are carried over here. This is the button you click. Unless and until you click this button, you are not completed. Confirm and notify. Okay, the TA report submit successfully. You need to see this one for all the TA reports that you are submitting.
This is important. If you don't see that message, you haven't completed the process.
And see, there was a task here. Just follow my cursor. There was a task here. Now it is not there. No results found. Because you have submitted the report. Now it is our headache to look into that TA. So you are done your part. So we take the report and we look into that and we review it. If there are any, if it is a final, we just forward it to PO. If there are any changes, we're going to come back to you. But at this point, if it is not in your here, you are safe. You don't have to worry about anything. So that's it. So make sure you, if it is here, even though you think you submitted a report, but if it is here, that means it's still with you.
Right. So there's 3 steps again. There's a lot of little steps. But first, when you go, when you receive the request change request back from the TAR, when you go to your first screen, you need to click on change request because I've also gotten questions that say I can't find it. And you're not clicking on change request because that's where the report is when I send that back to you.
It's on the left-hand side.
It's on the left-hand side. Second step, to find the report, it's under previous report. Okay, that's where it is. If you noticed when he was doing the line, there was a line there for reports and it just had the template in there. That's why some of you probably were trying to figure out, well, where is the report because I just see this line with a template leak. That's because when you do a change request, now it is under previous report. And then the third and final is submit, next screen, confirm, and notify. If you don't do all those 3 things, we don't know that you revised that report in TATS.
Okay, so I'm moving on to the next slide. Okay, so I think I'm done with the TATS. And again, as George said, we'll take the questions towards the end. And now these are the two important things we want to cover in TATS. And now going to the online site visit report system. So why it is here today? The reason is in the new contract that which started last month, all the reports that is going, those are going to TATS. Whether it is a generic report or OSV or FTCA, whatever the types of reports they are, all the reports, they have to come from this system before you upload them into TATS. So this system is scaled to support generic reports and FTCA reports in the new contract. And this system is not housed at MSCG. This is at enterprise level. It is again housed at HRSA. So if there are any changes that they are not in our control, it's like a TATS. It's at HRSA, but the passwords, you should have two different set of passwords. One for TATS, which is totally separate, and one for MSCG. One for MSCG. That password also works for this system because we don't want you to have you more passwords and confuse between. So you have only two passwords, one for TATS, one for MSCG, and this system will take the MSCG password. Okay, so now online site visit report system and types of reports we are supporting. The first one is operational site visit report, and again I will go into each of these screens in a bit. And then generic report, FTCA report. So those are the three reports I'm going to show you. And then let me take you to a website where we have a couple of instructions. Okay, and remember, this link, the link you have been using for last 1 year, that is no longer useful. Here is the link. Let me put it in a notepad. So this link, it still ends with the same thing, but if you look at the URL, there is no MSCG, hcp.asa.gov. So for the new contract, and we have included this link into the TA packet, the logistics confirmation email that you are getting from one of our tags, Andrea or Carolina, Linda or Ramanda. So you are getting this link as part of this packet. So you have this link. And this is the link you will be using for all the reports in the new contract. So, and let me log into the system.
And while he's logging in, let me reiterate, because he said it, all the reports now that you do go into the online system. There are no exceptions. Every single report you do is going into the online system at this point.
Okay, and spend a couple of times on the homepage. So what type of the report that you are dealing with? If it is the operational site visit, you are doing all this section 1 to 4, all 19 program requirements, section 5, section 6, the 7 last one. You are doing all this for operational site visits. If the site visit is a type program requirement verification or a targeted program requirement assessment, you are just doing the sections 1 to 4.
Only the applicable sections.
Only applicable, not all of them. Only applicable sections.
You are probably targeted in this case to a finance or a clinical section, and not all of the sections.
And again, you are not doing anything special. When you go into a system, depending on the TA type, the system will guide you to the report. You are not selecting a type of the report. So the system is built in a way, depending if it is a verification, system will force you to use certain format. If it is a program performance improvement, it will show you a report that you have to use. And if it is a FTCA, the system will guide you to that. Okay, so you are not selecting anything. You are just logging into the system and taking what it is there. Okay. Now and then the report completion. I'm going to have George to read through this because all the reviewer changes, like the changes that you get from MSCG reviewers, Bruce, Jack, and Christy, you have to make those changes here. Once it is in TATS, the changes you got to make them to Word document. So once the report ends in TATS, you will not find that report here. So that's it. So the bottom line is, once you send the report to the editors, you are done with this system.
Okay. So you can see the bullets, and the key here is these changes, as it says, really easy, are to be completed online. The team lead submits the report to reviewers and technical assistants, TARs, and it's just a CC to us because we actually don't comment on it, but I like to have it so I know what in the world I'm talking about if there's a question. The reviewer, and again, this is Jack, Bruce, and Christy, are going to send you comments back vis-a-vis the system, and you're going to see those comments to the team lead, again, because we're talking OSVs for this part of the exercise. And the revisions have to be completed in the online system. That's one of the things that was happening occasionally last year as we weren't watching carefully. The individual team members were, doing a Word document and then sending it to team lead as if they were still in TATS, and they're not. In this part of the system, until you upload it into TATS, everything is done online, okay? So the revisions are completed. The team lead submits. Again, it says TARs and editors, but it really is the button that says send to MSCG edit. You're still not done, but then the editor at MSCG, the individuals I mentioned earlier, Liz, Dana, Sarah, and we'll probably have some more editors to be added in the future, are going to edit this report, and they are going to send that back to you as a Word document, okay? That Word document, next to the last bullet, is what you are going to upload into TATS. Okay, again, there is no interface or connection between online and TATS. You, the team lead, has to upload that report into TATS, and of course, now that you've had a refresher course, you're going to be able to upload it, hit submit, and confirm, and it will be dutifully uploaded into TATS by going through that process.
Okay, so thanks, Josh. Let me log into this system. Again, this is not real data. This is the data, like, just for this training purpose. No pending reports. Okay, let me go to log out.
By the way, in the steps that you saw, when you hit the submit for review or submit for edit button, you don't have to do the copy to the TAR or anybody else. The system does that for you. I noticed that Ramana had those bullets saying it goes to the TAR and then the review or whatever have you. But you don't have to worry about that. When you hit it, it goes to the right people. Or it will go to the right people eventually, but that's another story.
Okay, so here there are three things. 3 TA reports. I have 3 because one for OSVs, one for FTCA, and one for generic. I want to show all 3 in one go. So you see your task here. You click proceed to TA report. And this is FTCA. We come back to this one. Okay, so this is the one, the operational site visit. It is operational, all the consultants involved, and now before we go on top, so you are all know this stuff. Because you have been using this system. So once everything is completed here, that means assign to has to be a none. So once everything is completed here, assign to be a none, that means the report is ready. There was one request whether a team member can send an email to team lead after submitting after completing their portion of the report. We took that to the government, like BPHC, and they said that is too much of email traffic. So they said that's fine, they can just send an email out of this system. So that's why. So as soon as you are done with your changes here, you probably let team lead know via email outside of this system. Or else team lead, if you close out your task, team lead can see those things. So if team lead can see your name here and there is nothing, that means you have already completed and team lead can move forward. So okay, so that is that one thing. Before that, this is for all the clinical consultants and team leads. Team leads, you got to be you are responsible for 340B supplement for bureau office site visits. For this one, you got to make sure all the clinical consultants complete this section before you send it to any of these. So what this is, you had a training a week or a couple of weeks ago on 340B. This is where you access it. You click it clearly says only for clinical consultants. Click on this button to respond 340B. And again, once the clinical consultant submits this, here you see that the clinical consultant already submitted. So there is no confusion. As long as you see nothing here, that means the clinical consultant did not submit. But if you see saying with the red text, clinical consultant already submitted the 340, that means you can move forward. So let me click on this because this is important for you guys. This is something new you will be doing starting from next week, whoever is going on the site visit. Okay. 340B supplement for bureau's office site visits. Okay. So these are the questions. Your response. Whatever you feel like, your response here. Very simple. It takes a couple of minutes. Okay. This and submit. Okay, you have submitted your responses. You have completed 340B supplemental for bureau service. If you go back to the home page, you see here clinical consultant has already submitted responses for 340B questions. So if you see this here, that means you are good to submit this to the reviewers. So this is a new feature, and you got to be careful as team leads as well as the clinical consultants. Okay, now as all you know, this is only read-only version. You just see what it is there. Step 1 and step 2. You cannot click on step 2 until step 1 is done. Okay. Step 1. When you click on the step 1, it will send a Word document of this report to MSCG reviewers, who is Bruce, Jack, and Christy. So they'll get it. And you got to wait until you hear back from one of them saying you need to make any changes or you're good to go. So if they come back to you with any changes, you need to come to this system right here and make those changes by accessing the sections here, and then you send it to the editor. Again, all the reviewers, they give you only one-time changes. MSCG reviewers will give you one-time changes. You come back here, you make these changes, and you send them to editors. Once this is done, there is no way you come back to this system and make any other changes. If it goes to editors, that's it, you are done. And again, before you accidentally clicked on editors and it went to editors and you called me, okay, you did this, I was able to fix it. Now, this system is at Harsa. If you click it, you clicked it, that's it. There is no way, no oops. And if you click on step 2 and if you want to make more changes after the clicking of step 2, You got to deal with in TATS. You cannot make any changes once you click on step 2. You can make the changes as long as you are still in step 1. So before you click on step 2, make sure you got all the changes. So I'm repeating that because I'm sorry I'm repeating, but the system is not in our control, and all the things these type of things what we have been experiencing last year and so we had access to it, but now we do not have any more access. So click on the step 1 to send it to reviewers, get the changes back from the reviewers, make those changes, click on the step 2, and from one of our editors you will get a final Word document. Use that Word document to submit it into TATS.
Okay, and to reiterate, you are in the MSCG online, it's actually the HRSA online system now, and this is not TATS. So again, the reviewers are the MSCG reviewers, Jack, Bruce, and Christy, not project officers, not anybody else at the Bureau. The editors are the MSCG editors at this point still, and again, when you do your changes from the MSCG review part, if there's a question you have back, you need to let the TAR know that you have the question as well. And same for the editors. If the editor sends you a note back saying a chart is missing or something, you can go back and forth with the editor, but you also need to let your beloved TAR know as well that there's a question about what the editor said back to you if that happens. Again, the reviewers are looking at your adherence to the HRSA site visit guide. The editors are doing spelling, grammar, and format for you. Okay.
Okay. We are getting questions. We're going to address them towards the end. And there are some questions on the vouchers. We probably can address them if we can get more details what type of issues you are having with the vouchers. But we will come back to those questions, okay? Now, this is our operational site visit, and this is for one of the reports. And going back to home and clicking on the generic report. So this is the type performance improvement site visit. Again, generic report, there is only one step involved. Whatever you put and send it to editors, editors will edit it and send it back to you to submit into TATS. MSCG reviewers are not reviewing that report, and I don't want to confuse you. On the screen, you do not see a step 2 or step 1. You just see one step. So you see your report in read-only version. You just read this, what it says here, and send the report to editors, and you get it back from the editors to upload into TATS. And generic report is very simple. You don't have nothing. You have nothing. Your site visit participants are like the other one, and there is one section, generic report. And hopefully this is a testing machine. Hopefully this is working, but let me see.
On the generic report format, we do get questions. Can I do this, that, or the other in terms of what you put into the body of the generic report? Pretty much it's up to you as the consultant in terms of how you're going to format everything after the participants list. There isn't a set process. Some of you prefer to do it by indicating certain program requirements. You don't have to spell out the entire program requirement in a generic report like you did on the OSP. Some of you just prefer to do a narrative format. I would just recommend one thing, however, is that you kind of touch base with the project officer when you're doing a generic report, just to make sure that you don't get a note back saying, could you do this differently? Because that can happen. Even though there isn't a set format, project officers, some of them have in mind what they wanted to look at in terms of a format. So it behooves you to touch base with the project officer when you're doing the generic report.
Okay, so these are the sections in the generic report: purpose of visit, list of the documents reviewed, list of the documents left with the grantee, specific actions taken during the site visit, recommendations, next steps, and that's it. That's all the generic report is. You got to fill all these 4 sections, 4 boxes. Go back here. So now you're done. You finish this and finish the participants. Participant list is the same one. you have been using for a long time. So you do this. And now, once those two sections are done, just you can view it in read-only version how it looks. There is nothing, you can't see anything here, but if there is something you can see. And then send the report to editor. So this is when it goes to editors directly, no review process in between. So that is about the generic report. Okay, I'm going back to the home screen to show the last report. Again, it is a FTCA report. I know it is there, but the site visit that just happened, the consultants did not use it because the FTCA, I think it's a OPPT. Okay. Yeah. Well, they want to take a look at Shana Wilborn, the project officer. She wants to take a look at the system before you use it. So that's why the consultants recently they did not use the FTCA report online. But yes, they will be using it very soon. But I'll show you the FTCA report how it looks. Okay, so this is FTCA, and this is always says financial management TA. And you see here only 2 steps, no review. So this is also has no review. Just report in read-only version, send the report to editors.
Again, that means no MSCG review, not that the Bureau won't review it.
Okay, so these are the sections. Overview of grant information. You just click it. You fill the overview of the grantee. So this is totally extracted from the Word template that you are using right now. Once you fill up all these sections, it is going to look same as that Word document that you are using right now. So we have a lot of things. Overview of grant information, executive summary, site visit participants, specific actions. You probably know by this thing, 5, 6, and we have 6 credentialing, licensed independent, other license, all this stuff. So this is all the part of that Word document that you are using right now, and risk management policies, so everything. So once this is done, the conclusion, once this is all done, you click on this one, and system will generate a Word document, send it to the editor to look for the grammar, English, whatever, and send it back to you. The editors will send it back to you via email or send a system, and that you use the document to put it into TATS. Again, if you are a team lead, you are responsible for it. If there is no team lead, that means every consultant has to upload one report. FTCA, there is always a team lead, but for the generic, there is a team lead. Sometimes there is only one consultant. There is 2 consultants, but no team lead. So if there are 2 consultants, no team lead, you are supposed to submit your report. If there is only one consultant, by default, one consultant is a team lead, or the report is required, you got to do it. And if it is a team, then the team lead has to do it. So these are the 3 different types of reports that we have here. Okay, and going to, so we covered FTCA, we covered generic, we covered OSVs, operational site visits, and operational site visits, there are 2 types. One is operational site visit, and second one is targeted as well as the program verification, requirements verification. So those are the ones. And again, please spend a couple of minutes on the home page. We listed out everything. And please read the emails that we send you as a logistics confirmation email. Because, it's the same email you have been getting since last 10 years. But there are some changes. It looks same, format is same, everything is same, but there are some changes. So we have incorporated the new link into it, and the voucher system is a new link, and so there are, and we have put a 1-800 number for 24-hour support on the travel side. So there are some changes. It looks same, but it is not really same. So this, I think I can log out from this system. And again, these are the instructions I'm talking about. So let me go back. If you're going to see something different here. If you see here, for assistance with this system, contact us, contact center. You're going to click this. You're going to put this. They're going to get it. Eventually, they're going to forward it to me. So it is not directly coming to me. It is going to HRSA, and from there, for now, I am the point of contact. It's going to come to me, but that is not official. So for now, I am just acting. So, yeah, before it was my name here, but you don't see my name anymore because this system is at HRSA right now. Okay, so, but being that said, let me see what I have here. Okay, so those are the presentations I have. Those are things I want to go through. Consultant expertise, contribution, and report types. Again, we covered TATS first and then the online. But in the real life, real time, the online site visit report system happens first, then followed by TATS. So make sure you log in here, provide a report, and then you go to TATS. You just follow whatever the other things. Okay, so now I think I'm going to answer the questions on the list here, and then I'm going to see the raised hand. You can raise your hand, but let me go through quickly these questions, and I'm going to answer, and you can always unmute with *6 and ask a question. So the first one is 144, I don't know what that is. The second one is 1 p.m. I think it's too late, but probably she's okay. Okay, the second one, will you address special issues related to voucher programs? Let me see. Jeff, can you please give me a little extra on that question?
Yeah,
Are
can you hear me?
About is it the migrant voucher program?
Yes, and I don't know that we need to deal with it on this call because there's not that many of them. The other questions are probably more important at this point.
Okay, but again, you can give me a call directly.
Okay.
Okay, just call me. Call me or send me an email. I'll respond to that, okay?
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, please list names of senior MSCG reviewers for those of us who are relatively new and may. Okay, the names are Jack Egan, Bruce Regal, and
Christy Messer.
Christy Messer. Jack Egan, Bruce Regal, Christy Messer.
Just as a background, Jack and Bruce, of course, used to work with HRSA and the Bureau, and Christy has been associated with the community health centers for quite some time.
Please resend all updated revised documents that you consider linked with this training. Yes, we will do that after this training. We're going to send you the recording and updated documents as soon as, by tomorrow. Will the report format on MSCG report be changed to add the issues related to the new SFS pin and the issues related to 340 questions asked at OSP? This is a question for George, please.
Yeah, I was laughing because actually that means, a considerable amount of time will be taken to digest the questions that are coming in on the new sliding fee scale pin. And this is all going to happen at the Bureau. We are not responsible for changing the format for the reports in any of these cases. It all has to come from the Bureau, and I would imagine that the Bureau will take, some time to be sure of what changes it wants to make, because it will have to change the questions on the site visit guide. It will have to change any questions then subsequent that we now have on the online format, but we cannot just make changes ourselves on the online format. I'm sorry, to answer that way, but that's just the way it's going to work.
Okay, Jeff. The next one is, please consider sending a transcript for this webinar, as it is difficult to understand Ramana at times. I'm sorry for that, but at this moment, for this particular webinar, because it is not mandatory, we do not have a transcript. But in future, yes, we'll try to provide you a transcript. Okay, how often should we update, change our passwords? Okay, it's always good to change your update passwords in 60 days, 60 calendar days.
And there is a expiration. If you do not go into TATS, or particularly TATS, your password will expire. Do you know how long that is, Ramana? When the system won't let you in again with your old password?
You will get anywhere between like 90 days is a policy. So you get actually like, sorry, we just changed it, not we, but it's 180 days.
Okay.
That is almost like, 6 months. But I'm not recommending that. Please change it once in at least couple of months. It is just for like, secure purpose. Okay, will a new site visit guide be coming out that includes issues from PIN 2014-02?
I can tell you, I just told you that is going to come out of HRSA in the Bureau. When, and when I couldn't even begin to tell you.
Okay, when we download a track changes report and make the changes, do we save it under a different name so we can re-upload it? Yeah, John, like it's up to you whether you use the same name or different name. But technically, like for practicing purposes, use different names. That will help you to see like what was the previous document and what is the new document. So, but it doesn't matter even if you use the same name or different name, but use a different name and re-upload it. If we have two comments, do we enter none or just leave it blank? If we have no comments and the field is not required, please leave it blank. And if you have no comments but the field is required, put enter. Sorry, put none. Just enter none if the field is required and there are no comments. That's a good question actually, because there are a lot of fields which are like have no comments but they are required. So please enter none. Okay. Please clarify, will all OSV team members have access and be expected to edit their separate sections? Yes.
Again, this is in the online system.
In the online system. Once it gets into TATS, then only team lead will have to do it. As long as the report is in online system, the other one we are talking about, US, the team members are responsible for their own section. And team lead will communicate back to you for those changes, okay? Has the username on the online report system changed to our email address, or do we need a new password? I have been using the old legacy. Okay. The username on the online system, it will take your email address or the username that you have. So you can use one of those, your email address or the username that you have been using since you are with MSCG. And you use the same password that you have been using for the MSCG site, not the TATS. You use the same password from the old legacy username, legacy password. And now you have a feature to change your password. Let me show you while we are talking about that. Okay, this is here. This system to change. If you can see my screen, there is something called forgot password. So if you click that, you need to enter your right email address and reset password. That way you can change your existing password. And again, remember what you are changing it to, because we will not have a record of it. It is going to be encrypted. And if you forget again, you got to do the same process. You got to go here, forgot password, and get the new one. And we tested this and it is working. Okay, going back to the question. Ignore 340B questions. How do I, as a clinical consultant, access the recording of the recent 340B training session? It is not. Okay, we have not received the 340B training from Bureau yet as of we speak now. As soon as we get it, we're going to post it on our website and we will send you an email with a link and we also update our mandatory trainings list, and you can get there. But you can get it from there. But again, it's going to take maybe like in a couple of days. That's what we heard. We'll probably get it by tomorrow or Tuesday because Monday is holiday. Okay, but we have not received it yet. When do we need to start using the FTCA report format? Yeah, this is what we do not know at this point. Please talk to your project officer whenever you are on-site on the FTCA, because we thought you will be using it from the day one. But Shana Wilborn, she said she will have to look into the system, make sure everything is, because she did not get the chance to review it in the old contract. So for now, please follow Shana's instructions, and once we get go ahead on that one, we're going to send you out an email saying, like, you can use the FTCA online.
Right. So in the meanwhile, just make sure you check in with Shana Wilborn before you start doing your report.
Okay. Can the 340B supplement be done at the start, or must it be done with step 1? You can do it at the start. Before the step 1 is clicked, you can log into the system. As soon as you can log into the system, you can finish the 340B. But you have to finish them before the step 1. Okay, the next question, are we, non-team leads, submitting 2 reports, one to MSCG and one for TATS? No, unless the TATS is required. Team members are all submitting only 1 report into MSCG along with their vouchers. Team leads are also submitting only 1 report, but they are submitting into TATS. They are not submitting any report into MSCG along with the voucher. So team members, yes, you are submitting a report, only 1 report. You are not submitting any report into TATS. If we have completed FTCA site visits prior to today, do we need to enter those reports in this format? No, you are not. And even going forward, if you have anything next week, please check with Shana, because the FTCA is still under review from Shana. You still use the Word document, whatever you have been using since last week or so. Okay. For new consultant being asked to do a TA-only visit, it would really be helpful to be able to see a sample completed generic report in view of the grade range in experience of POs. When I did my first one, a former team colleague shared an example which was quite helpful. George?
Yeah, here it's a good idea. The problem is that generic reports can address almost anything other than an OSV. So the range of the different types of topics and the types, the information we put on a report, it varies so greatly. We'll think about if we can come up with one generic report example that might be applicable not across the board, but of interest to the majority of the consultants who are going on site. Again, it would be specific to some type of like board training or something, but you might get an idea from that, how to set it up. It's a worthwhile idea to pursue, and we'll talk about it internally.
Okay. The FTCA template does not appear to include the final tables in the current Word document. Pending or no longer part of the report. They are all there. Again, you don't get to see until you get into the system. When you start using this FTCA template, you see the latest one. We have used the latest FTCA template to code into the online system. So it should be there. That's the reason why Shana is reviewing it. So it should be there. If not, we will talk to the project officer and see what can be done. Is there anything different for the HAB reviews? Okay, so HAB reviews, this is totally, the system I shared today, it's only for BPIC. HAB, they have the different systems we covered in a previous training last week. HAB has a different system, and the review is, they are reviewing the TA report before TATS. So the project office and branch chiefs are reviewing it. There is no MSCG review for the HAB reports.
However, HAB has to use TATS. So the TATS process is identical for HAB as it is for the Bureau. In that respect, it's just a slightly different process for HAB. And actually, HAB has two different processes for two different parts of HAB. One part of HAB actually is using an online system that we created. Another part of HAB is not. But Merle, if you want to contact me via email if you're interested, if you haven't already rostered with HAB, go ahead and get in touch with me. Again, we're looking for volunteers from the BPHC side who have prior expertise with HIV/AIDS, either health centers or HAB itself, to get in contact with us and be on that roster.
Okay. Who do we contact to see if you have completed all the required trainings? Where is the test? Okay, the call our office 301-577-3100 and ask for Carolina Callahan. Carolina Callahan, she will be able to help you with that, with the test. If you are current user, not a current user on the TAT system, what must one do to register? Before that, you have to be one of our consultants. You have to be in our database. So if you are already in our database, and if you do not have a TAT access, then that is a problem and we should know. But the first step is call our office and make sure you are in our database, and then you need to fill up your consultant contract with MSCG, and then we will add you to TAT. If you are not a current user on the system, what must one do to register? The same thing. Call our office and we will start the process. Do you get a TAT login only after completing all of the trainings? Yes, all the required trainings has to be completed before you get the TAT access. I continue to get rejected emails indicating that report was not received, and the reviewers often indicate they get the same message when I upload a report. Has it been attested? Okay, this is this is again this is only with the AOL accounts, HRSA and MSCG. We both are having issues. The thing is we are getting the email. You are getting a bounce back. You are getting a rejected bounce back, but still we are getting the emails from you. But AOL is sending you it is bouncing back. I have opened the ticket with AOL at least 3-4 times. They said it is rectified, but it's still happening. And again, honestly, it is AOL is blocking MSCG and HRSA. So that's what I can confirm, because I spoke to one of the AOL representatives. They're blocking, and they need to take out us from the block list. There is no reason for they black, because they're also blocking the HRSA. MSCG is a different thing. So, but yes, we do know the problem, and you get the reject emails. That is one extra email for you, but at the same time, we are getting the emails from you.
Right. And Bill, when we send emails to you, actually we get the same bounce back saying it didn't go through. But I know it does go through because you have always responded. It's, as Ramana said, it's an issue outside of, unfortunately, something we can deal with. It's AOL, and until AOL deals with it, there's nothing else we can do.
What number will be a call to hear a repeat of this call? We're going to send you out a recording in video format, and you just listen to that. You can view it and you can listen to that. As a MSCG reviewer, do I access the reports via the MSCG email? As we have yes. You continue to do the same thing, Christy. You will be getting the emails, the reports via email. So nothing is.
But there is a change. The emails, Christy, that you're getting on the online system now will not have Ramana's name on them.
It is from the consultant.
It is from the consultant, and so you need to be aware of that. Ramana's name will no longer appear to the reviewers or the editors because it's a HRSA online system.
For new consultants, how do we set up our username and password in TATS? Okay, that you cannot do that by yourself. You have to be MSCG consultant first, and then we forward your information to TATS. if you are already MSCG consultant and you do not have a TATS access, let us know. Where do I go for online system on Monday?
You didn't have a site visit yet, right?
Right now, the usual link is there today and approved. No message. The new link is in your logistics confirmation email. So whatever the site visit that you are going next week, you got an email from logistics people saying logistics confirmation email. The new link is there, and if you want to write it down, it is here. https://hcp.harsa.gov/OSVR template. So the OSVR template is the same as the one you already have, but it is instead of MSCG, it's http.harsa.gov. And again, this link is there in the logistics confirmation email, and when you click on the old link on Monday, we will make sure that will be forwarded to the new link. That means nobody can get into the old system. So we will forward it to the new system directly. Even if you access the old system, it will take you to the new system.
Will it be hot until, and it's not hot until the day the site visit begins, is that correct?
Yes.
So Merle, that may be what you're running into. You're not going to see anything until the day of your site visit.
Okay, so next. Also have statewide migrant voucher program concerns for the clinical PRs for a GA review next week. I will be together with Jeff. Who can I speak with in advance for clinical stuff? PO and Harsa senior clinical person have no experience. So George, take it.
Yeah, I would love to take this question. Merle, go ahead and email me or Jeff, and we're going to have to work with the Bureau, of course, because, of course, we can't give you policy direction as MSCG. But tell me what you're thinking about, and I can relay it back. There is a body of expertise within the Bureau. It may not be the project officer or the senior clinical advisor around the voucher programs, and we may have to just work with them. So just go ahead and catch up with me vis-a-vis email.
Okay, who do we contact regarding the experience with HAB, HIV, Ryan White? Okay, again, call 301-577-3100. You can call that number, and somebody will talk to you about the HAB. So, and again, you can email us. You probably have our email. So whatever, if you have my email, just forward your question to me, and I'll forward to right channels. But yes, you can use the phone number, or you can go to mscginc.com, and we have a contact over there, so you can find the contact information right there. So mscginc.com, and there are a lot of ways. So you can call us, you can email us, and we will give you the information that you need for both HAB and BPIC. Okay, so I think, let me see if I have any questions here. These are all I think we covered here.
Okay, while he's checking, those of you who are listening very carefully at the beginning may have heard me mention the fact that Jean Ellen Calavang is coming on board as a TAR, and she will be my replacement. The key word there is she will be my replacement. I will be moving on. This will probably be my last BPIC broadcast. I am the manager for the new HAB, both of the two HAB TA contracts that we have. And so it's been a pleasure working with all of you. I will be around for another couple weeks finishing up the prior reports under the old contracts prior to October 1. But again, it's been a pleasure working with you, and I hope to be working with a lot of you under the HAB contract.
Okay, we have a hand raised, Bonnie Carmen. So you can talk over the phone if you have a question.
*6. Go ahead.
I think we probably answered. We answered that.
Okay.
Yeah, we answered that. Okay. Thank you. We have answered that. Okay. Let me see. Yes. Yeah, we have answered all of those. Okay. So now I think at this point I don't see any new questions. Hopefully, we answered all your questions. Again, you go to the MSCG website and you can send an email to us. One of us will be able to help you. So, and I hope this training will help you for the reports going forward. And yep, thank you very much. And we will send you out the recording as soon as it's available by tomorrow. So thank you very much, and goodbye from all of us. Thank you.
Thank you.